Hey guys, Furum here, and today I'm going to be testing the third Mercedes-Benz SLS AMG to be added to Asphalt 8. This is the Coupe Black Series. I won this car in its R&D not too long ago with a tuning of 4505 and in Pro Kits 5050, which brings us to a rank of 1592. All races in this video are sequential except for one that I took out because I had absolutely no competition and it was very boring, to say the least. In this race we've got a Mazda GT3 and a DeVille 16. Now, the DeVille 16 is not too great at this rank, and not too great in multiplayer at any rank besides Max Pro, in which it's still not too great unless it's on Tokyo Reverse. So yeah, the DeVille 16 is not really worth its 5 million credit price. Only the GT3 is ahead of us now. We go up this ramp a bit weirdly, but we do manage to land on him and knock him down. Now, this was a 2-lap race, so I was thinking, maybe the DeVille 16 is fast enough to be able to catch up, because this Mercedes isn't especially fast for its rank, but we will see. So this car is a high-end B-class car. It's one of the highest ranked ones. It goes like 286 miles per hour at Max Pro, and doesn't really have any standout features or stats. So it is not any kind of B-class king, but it is a fairly high-end B-class car. I get at least a few comments on every Asphalt 9 video asking, when is the next Asphalt 8 video, or have you quit Asphalt 8? No, I have not quit Asphalt 8, and I'm not planning to until I get at least 200 cars, and I will be uploading at least one Asphalt 8 video per week until I quit the game. So do not worry, we came in first here, and interestingly enough, I had forgotten to put on a tuning kit. Yet we still beat those cars. So I made sure to put on a tuning kit, and I'm glad too, because in this very next race, we are facing a bit more competitive cars, like a Vulcan, for example. Now, I was using ticket races in every race of this video. Now, I only did that because I'm in low pro league, because I really haven't been playing multiplayer all that much. However, as of me recording this, I have gotten up to like 1860 rating, and I just knocked down that MP48 like it was nothing. That is one good thing about this car. It seems to be very easy to get knockdowns in, and it's difficult to get knocked down. So anyways, yes, all the races in this video are ticket races. This one, I was not risking in because I had just started in the previous race, so I was at like 25% risk, which doesn't do much of anything. So this Vulcan ahead of me was nearly 100 rank above me. I believe he's 1681 rank or something like that, which would explain why he's getting so very far ahead. So this car can reach 283 miles per hour at this rank of 1592, which isn't especially great, but it's not horrible either. So of course this Vulcan beat us, but we beat all the other cars. This is another example of a car that is decidedly mediocre, I guess. Not horrible, but not great either. But as we will see in this race, sometimes mediocre cars can still pull out wins against more powerful cars, like the Porsche Carrera GT, who we squish against the side and knock down there. However, this is just one lap, and we do have another Porsche Carrera GT in the race who is the car in front of us right now. For some reason, there was this Nissan GTR who we faced in pretty much every single race of this video, including the one that I took out because he was like the only car there. So the Porsche Carrera I knocked down was just around my rank, like 20 lower or something. He's like 20 miles per hour faster than me at this rank, and so he's the car coming up rather fast behind me right now. You can see that little green dot creeping up behind me on the map. Now for me to repeat the thing that I've repeated in probably half a dozen Asphalt 8 videos. The right route here is faster if you're in a fast accelerating car with good drifting, and the left route is faster if you are in a top speed oriented car with not so great drifting or handling. This car has kind of met everything, so I just decided to go to the right, and that Porsche Carrera behind us did follow us. Thankfully, he does not manage to catch up before the finish line, and we come in second, behind one Porsche Carrera GT, but ahead of another one. So the one that beat us was 1620, the one that we beat was 1572. So yeah, 20 rank lower, exactly. So in our next race, we have finally gotten up to 100% risk, and in this race, we are facing a 1480 rank Camaro. That's 112 rank below us. For some reason, I accidentally turned on caps lock. Yeah, don't worry about that. Now, of course, this car starts up a lot faster than the Camaro, so we get ahead in the beginning. Now, this car ahead of us here that we're passing is the Civic. For some reason, the MP48, which is also in this race, did not speed ahead at the beginning. I do not know exactly what happened to him. So, because of this car's worse than average drifting, it's a bit difficult to get around those turns. However, we still get around faster than the Camaro. The Camaro, I believe, is the car directly behind us right now, because he's pulling away from all the other ones. And the one right behind him is the MP48, who is just above 1500 rank. You can really see, guys, in this video, the difference between risking and not risking, going from facing cars 100 above you to facing cars 100 plus below you. It's really nice, and if you play Asphalt 8 and don't risk in multiplayer, you really should. It helps no matter what league you're in. So Tenerife is definitely not one of the best tracks for the Camaro, and although he starts catching up a little bit close to the end here because it's a fairly long straight section, we come in ahead of him as well as the MP48 and the Civic and all the other cars in this race. Not only can this car beat more overpowered cars, but it can also catch up to them, as we'll see in the next race. In this race, we are facing a 1523 M2 Special Edition. Now at the beginning here, this Ford GT tries to knock me down, and somehow I knock him down instead. This is what I was saying earlier about this car being able to knock down easily, but not being able to get knocked down easily, because in a lot of other cars, I would have gotten knocked down right then. So the other two cars in this race are the M2 Special Edition and the Civic from last race, who we are now passing now. Civic, just not a very good car for multiplayer at all. So now, this is a one-lap race, and all we have ahead of us is the M2 Special Edition. Now, the M2 Special Edition should be a bit faster than this car. Thankfully, the barrel roll does not land in a wreck, barely. Thankfully, in Asphalt 9, even if you land on your top, sometimes you don't wreck, but we are catching up even closer to this guy here. So I use all these speed tricks I know, jumping up here, and then taking the slightly shorter route. Here, we pull right ahead of him. I do not know why he isn't catching up to me. He seems to be going about the same speed, which seems a little weird because the M2 SE at rank 1529 can go 290 miles per hour, 7 miles per hour faster than me. And that guy was staying even with me, or maybe even falling behind a little, so he probably tuned a little bit incorrectly. So we beat the M2 SE in this race, but in the final two races of this video, we face another M2 SE who is at 1615 rank. It's a different guy, but we face him in the two final races. Will we beat him in both, one or neither? Well, stick around and find out. So here, this M2 SE does something weird at the beginning and wrecks on seemingly nothing. Not exactly sure what happened there, but something kind of similar happened to me when I was testing my 1697 X2. Yes, I upgraded, and I'm going to make a video about that at some point. Anyway, in a race when I was testing that, crazy stunt right there. The X2 did a weird thing where it just kind of randomly exploded when I was driving on the road for no reason. I will try to remember to put that race in the video when I make that X2 video. So since this is only a one-lap race and that M2 SE is quite far behind, not even on the map, and definitely will not be more than 7 miles per hour faster than me, there's no way he's going to catch up before the end of the race. This is the main reason I usually vote one lap in slower cars, because if faster cars make a mistake, it will be easier to catch up to them. Even if they accelerate faster and you accelerate slowly, if you're in a slower car than the more overpowered cars around your rank by a good bit, just vote one lap. Hope they make a mistake. If they do, like in this case, you can get some easy wins on 2 laps. Who knows what would have happened. So we've beat this higher ranked M2 SE as well as the Koenigsegg and a couple other cars. Now in this next race, on London 2 laps, we meet him again. Now London is a fairly good track for those cars with better top speed, and as you'll see, we also have a Sin R1 here. So this should be quite interesting. So we knocked down the biome like he's nothing, even though I didn't mean to. It just kind of happened. Here I almost knocked down the M2 SE, but even though I don't, he still gets behind. However, because I flat spin up here to get more nitro, he manages to pull slightly ahead. Unfortunately, I land to the right of him instead of landing on him, and then we get slowed down a lot because he pushes us into the wall. Again, a lot of other cars would probably have gotten knocked down there. That is, I think, this car's main really good feature. It is a tank. It can withstand a whole lot of knockdowns, and it can knock down others quite easily. So at this point, I was thinking that I probably was not going to be able to catch up to him because he is quite far ahead, probably a couple seconds ahead, and that would have to probably be a wreck on his part for me to catch up, because obviously I'm not faster than him, because he's rank 1616, and to not have maximum speed at that rank means you must have really tuned poorly. But somehow, I was managing to catch up to him. I'm not exactly sure how. The only thing I can really think of is that he was running out of nitro, And again, I'm really not even sure how that happened, but he was drifting there, so that makes me think that. We passed him around the turn, go up here, and then land with him, like, right behind us. And if I don't make any silly mistakes, we should be good to go. So now it's time for me to give my general review of this car. As I said earlier, it is kind of mediocre. It's average, I'd say. It has average basically everything, speed, although it has worse than average drifting. Not exactly the greatest multiplayer choice, but it can do fine in low pro league. So we come in first ahead of this M2 SE. Thank you all so much for watching. Please like the video if you've enjoyed and consider subscribing for more Asphalt 8 and Asphalt 9 content. And I will see you in my next video. Goodbye!